Alrighty, this is problem number 12 from the review. First thing we're going to do is we're going to change that 3x to a 4x because I said I wanted you guys to change that in class and some of you probably weren't paying attention and then didn't do it. So let's change that to a 4x, and now we have x squared. I'm going to write this over here. So x squared plus 4x minus 2. Alright, so that's our new function. So to find our vertex, we got to use the x equals negative b over 2a. So we're going to have b is 4, so we get negative 4, over, and then 2a. A is our coefficient that is in front of the x squared. Well, there's nothing there, so we know there's kind of an invisible 1 in front of the x squared. So we're going to have 2 times 1. So I end up with negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So that's the x-coordinate of my vertex, as well as my axis of symmetry, x equals negative 2. These two numbers, here and here, will always be the same. Alright, now to find my y-coordinate of the vertex, I need to plug this negative 2 that I got for x into both the x here at x squared and the x here attached to the 4. So, I'll take this guy, plug it in here, and here. So I'm going to have negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 2. So I get 4 minus 8 minus 2, which gives me, so negative 4 minus 2 gives me negative 6. Alright, so my y-coordinate of the vertex is negative 6. I'm almost there. So for my x, I have negative 2 and negative 6 for y. Now to get my other ones, well, I need to go something that's greater than negative 2 and one that's less than negative 2. So for the less than, we're going to go with negative 3, and greater than is negative 1. Remember, you have to think on the opposite when you're talking about negatives. So I'm going to plug in the negative 3. So to get my y value, I need to plug in this negative 3 right here into my x's up in this guy, just like I did here in the blue when I was trying to find out my y-coordinate of the vertex. So I'm going to plug negative 3 in. I have negative 3 squared plus 4 times negative 3 minus 2. So I get 9 minus 12 minus 2, and I get, well, negative 3 minus 2 gives me negative 5. Alright, so my y value, when I plug in negative 3, gives me negative 5. I'm going to do the same thing for the other x value. I plug in negative 1, so I'm going to have, over here in red, negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 minus 2. So I get 1 minus 4 minus 2, and I get negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. Alright. So, now I'm going to plot my points. We'll go with green. That sounds fun. So, when I plot negative 3, negative 5, I'm going to be over to the left 3, down 5, I'm right here. Then when I plot negative 2, negative 6, I'm right here. And negative 1, negative 5 is right here. So now I have my parabola that looks something like this. Remember, it's curved, it's not a V like an absolute value. So my parabola is a nice U shape, or an N shape, depending, and this one's a U. And then lastly, I need to graph my axis of symmetry, because if we look up here, it says, and the axis of symmetry. So, So when I see my axis of symmetry up here, I'm going to use this guy. It's x equals -2, so it's a vertical line going through -2. And bippity boppity, I'm done. So you need all those parts. The vertex, right here. My axis of symmetry, you need to tell me what it is, and you need to graph it, which is right here. It's a nice vertical line. It was kind of tough to do on here. My 3 points, because 3 points make up a parabola. So that's these 3 right here. And then connect the dots, and all is good. Alrighty.